Have you ever met someone who smiles on the outside but hides a deep storm inside? Someone who is quiet, gentle, and kind, yet their eyes tell a story of pain, struggle, and survival? Life is not always fair. Some people carry wounds that the world doesn't see. They've been hurt, disappointed, betrayed, and pushed beyond their limits. Yet they still stand. They still breathe. And that alone makes them incredibly strong. In this video, we will explore the behavior of people who have suffered too much in life. These are not weak people. These are warriors of silence. Their pain has shaped them in ways most can't understand. They might act differently, think differently, or react differently, not because they are wrong, but because they've seen things that change them forever. They may struggle with trust. They might avoid emotional conversations. They could be overly kind, overly cautious, or deeply spiritual. But inside, they carry mountains of untold stories. Through each section of this video, we will talk about how past pain shows itself in behavior, how Islam helps us heal, and how we can support one another with love, patience, and understanding. Please like, comment, and subscribe to Deen Xplorers if you believe every heart deserves to be seen and understood. 1. Emotional withdrawal and isolation. When someone has gone through a lot of pain in life, it often changes how they connect with others. One of the most common behaviors you'll see in such people is emotional withdrawal and isolation. This doesn't happen because they are unfriendly or cold-hearted. It's because the pain they carry inside has built silent walls around their hearts. They may have trusted others in the past, shared their feelings, and leaned on people they believed in. But instead of comfort, they found betrayal, indifference, or abandonment. So slowly, without even realizing it, they begin to pull back. They stop opening up, stop sharing their worries, and sometimes stop trying to connect altogether. This type of emotional withdrawal isn't easy to notice at first. The person might still smile, still nod during conversations, and even try to appear normal. But deep down, there is a storm of emotions waiting to be understood. Their heart longs to be heard, yet fears the pain of being ignored again. They may isolate themselves not because they hate company, but because they're tired. Tired of explaining what they feel, tired of pretending that they're okay, and tired of being misunderstood. Isolation becomes a silent shelter for them, a place where they feel safe from more hurt. But Allah, our Creator, understands this state of the heart better than anyone. In fact, He knows the condition of our souls even when we ourselves don't have the words to describe it. In the Quran, Allah beautifully says, "Indeed, we have created man, and we know whatever thoughts his inner self develops, and we are closer to him than his jugular vein." Even if the world doesn't understand your silence, even if people walk past your pain without noticing, Allah is right there, closer than your own vein. He doesn't need you to explain what you're going through. He already knows, and He cares. When you feel emotionally shut off from the world, remember that it's okay to seek solitude, but don't shut the doors of your heart completely. You don't need to stay alone in your sadness. Allah is the best listener. You don't have to say anything out loud. He hears the whispers of your soul. Sometimes you just need to raise your hands and let the tears speak. Those tears are not a sign of weakness. They're signs of faith. They mean that even in your lowest moments, you are turning to the one who never abandons you. If you're watching this today and feeling withdrawn, cut off, or emotionally numb, know that healing is possible. Step by step, prayer by prayer, you can find your way back. You don't have to rush. You don't have to explain yourself to anyone. Just keep your connection with Allah strong. Let Him be your closest friend, your refuge, your comfort. Because when Allah is with you, no pain is permanent, no loneliness is forever, and no heart remains broken. So whenever you feel like you're drifting away from people, remind yourself that you're actually getting closer to Allah if you allow yourself to be. And that, dear viewer, is not a loss. That is the beginning of something beautiful. 2. Increased sensitivity and overreaction. People who have suffered a lot in life often develop a deep sensitivity to the world around them. This sensitivity isn't a weakness. It's a result of carrying emotional scars that have not yet healed. When someone has gone through too much pain, disappointment, or trauma, their heart becomes fragile. Even small things, words, gestures, or actions can feel overwhelming. A simple comment that others might ignore can cut them deeply. A minor issue may trigger tears, anger, or anxiety. This is not because they are overreacting for attention. It's because they are already carrying too much inside. Imagine a person walking through life with invisible wounds. Now imagine someone accidentally brushing against those wounds. It hurts, even if the touch wasn't meant to cause harm. That's exactly what happens with someone who has been hurt too much. Their heart has become sensitive, like an open wound. When someone speaks harshly or ignores them, they feel it more deeply than others. When plans are canceled, when promises are broken, when people raise their voices, they may react with sadness, panic, or frustration, because their emotions are already raw. This sensitivity often leads to misunderstandings. Others may call them too emotional or say they take things too seriously. But what they don't understand is that this person has learned to be on alert. They've learned to protect themselves from getting hurt again. Their overreaction is actually a defense. It's their way of guarding a heart that has been broken too many times. It is not an act of drama. It is the result of deep emotional history. Instead of being ashamed of your sensitivity, learn to see it as a gift. Sensitive people have the ability to feel deeply, love strongly, and care genuinely. Yes, it makes you vulnerable, but it also makes you beautiful in the eyes of Allah. Use that sensitivity to come closer to Him. Let every tear become a prayer. Let every hurtful word become a reason to seek comfort in His remembrance. If you find yourself overreacting sometimes, forgive yourself. You're not broken. You're healing. Healing is messy, emotional, and full of ups and downs. It takes time. Just try to recognize the moments when your heart is reacting from past pain and gently remind yourself that you are safe now. You are not in that same place anymore. You have Allah with you. And when Allah is with you, you can face anything. Surround yourself with people who understand your sensitivity, who don't judge your reactions, and who give you space to heal. But even if you don't have anyone, always remember, Allah is enough. His mercy is enough. His love is enough. So to anyone watching this video today who feels like their emotions are too much, know this: you are not too much. You are just someone who has felt deeply, lived courageously, and survived silently. And that is something to be proud of. 3. Lack of trust in others. When a person has suffered too much in life, one of the biggest effects it leaves behind is the inability to trust others. Trust is something that grows slowly, like a delicate plant. But when that trust is broken again and again, it doesn't just break the heart, it changes how a person sees the entire world. People who have been betrayed, abandoned, or disappointed repeatedly often struggle to open their hearts again. They build walls around themselves, not because they are cold or unfriendly, but because they are afraid of being hurt once more. Imagine someone who once gave their heart to a friend, a family member, or even a spouse, expecting honesty and care. But instead, they were lied to, taken advantage of, or left behind. Such experiences leave a scar on the soul. Now, when someone new tries to get close to them, they hesitate. Their mind fills with doubts. What if this person also hurts me? What if I trust again and it breaks me again? This fear becomes so strong that even good people struggle to earn their trust. This lack of trust often makes them look distant, cold, or guarded. But inside, they are just protecting what's left of their heart. They might smile and talk normally, but they keep their deepest thoughts hidden. They may test people, doubt their words, or expect them to leave at any moment. It's not that they don't want to trust, it's that they don't know how to anymore. If you are someone who struggles with trusting others, know that your past does not define your future. What happened to you was not your fault, but healing is your responsibility. You are worthy of love, loyalty, and honesty. And the first step is to trust that Allah is guiding you to something better. Fourth, difficulty in expressing emotions. One of the silent struggles of people who have suffered too much in life is the difficulty in expressing their emotions. These individuals often find it hard to talk about how they feel. It's not because they don't want to, but because life has taught them that expressing emotions can sometimes lead to more pain. They've learned, through experience, that opening up can make them look weak, vulnerable, or even be misunderstood. So instead of speaking, they stay quiet. Instead of crying, they hold back their tears. Instead of saying "I'm hurt," they say "I'm fine." This happens especially when people have experienced rejection or judgment after trying to share their feelings. Maybe they once tried to speak about their pain, but no one listened. Or worse, they were told to stop complaining or be strong. Over time, they began to hide everything inside. Their sadness, their fear, their anger, all locked away deep in the heart. They wear a smile, but inside, they are screaming for someone to understand. Imagine a person carrying a heavy bag filled with stones. Every stone is a memory, a loss, a disappointment, or a broken promise. Day by day, the bag gets heavier, but they never drop it. They never ask for help. And eventually, it becomes normal to carry that weight alone. That's what happens when people can't express their emotions. They carry pain in silence. But silence doesn't mean healing. In fact, silence often makes the pain grow deeper. It's important to understand that people who seem quiet, distant, or unemotional are often the ones feeling the most inside. They want someone to see beyond their silence. They want someone to ask, "Are you really okay?" with love and patience. But the fear of being judged or misunderstood holds them back. They think, "If I speak, will they laugh at me? Will they leave? Will they even care?" So they protect themselves by saying nothing. If you're someone who struggles to express emotions, remember, you are not alone. Many strong people feel this way. It doesn't mean you are cold or broken. It means you've been hurt and you're trying to survive. But healing begins when you allow yourself to feel again. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to pretend. You just have to be honest with yourself and with Allah. Start small. Maybe write down how you feel in a journal. Maybe speak to a trusted friend. Or maybe just sit quietly and talk to Allah. Your emotions matter. Your voice matters. You deserve to be heard and understood. And always remind yourself, Allah gave you emotions for a reason. They are not a burden. They are a blessing. They connect you to others. They bring you closer to your Creator. They remind you that you are human, and being human is beautiful. 5. Increased empathy for others. One of the most beautiful qualities that often grows inside people who have suffered too much in life is empathy, the deep ability to feel what others feel. When someone has gone through pain, disappointment, rejection, or loss, they begin to see the pain of others differently. It's like their heart becomes softer, more tender, and more aware. They may not talk much, but they listen. They may not have all the answers, but they understand what it means to hurt silently. A person who has felt deep sadness knows how it feels when no one checks on you. So when they see someone else sitting alone, they notice it instantly. They feel it in their soul. A person who has cried in secret knows how powerful a kind word can be. So when they speak to others, they speak with kindness, with warmth, and with genuine care. They become the kind of person they once wished they had when they were suffering. This kind of empathy is not taught in books. It is not something you learn in a classroom. It is something that life teaches you through your struggles. It is a gift from pain. And those who have it are often the most loving, the most generous, and the most patient. They may be quiet, but their actions speak loudly. They are the ones who comfort others without being asked. They are the ones who forgive easily because they know how it feels to be broken. But sometimes, this empathy can also become overwhelming. People who have suffered deeply may feel others' pain so strongly that it exhausts them. They might cry for someone else's hardship as if it were their own. They might go out of their way to help others even when they themselves are struggling. That's because their hearts are open and full of love. And while that is a beautiful thing, it's also important to take care of one's own emotional health. So if you've suffered in life and now feel more deeply for others, thank Allah. This is not a weakness. It is a strength. Your tears, your compassion, your ability to notice someone else's silence, these are signs that your heart is alive and connected to others in a beautiful way. Use this gift wisely. Help where you can. Listen to those who feel invisible. Be gentle with those who are harsh, because maybe they are hurting too. And never forget to refill your own cup through prayer, through time alone with Allah, and by taking care of your soul. You are stronger than you think, and your empathy is a powerful tool for healing this world, one heart at a time. 6. Struggling with hope and faith. When someone has suffered too much in life, they often struggle with hope and faith. It's not because they don't want to believe. It's not because they don't love Allah. It's because their pain becomes so heavy that it clouds their heart and mind. They try to stay strong. They try to hold on. But sometimes, the sadness inside becomes louder than the hope they once carried. Imagine someone who has faced failure after failure, loss after loss, disappointment after disappointment. Every time they get up, life pushes them down again. After a while, they begin to ask themselves, is there really any good coming? Will things ever get better? They start doubting, not because they are weak believers, but because they are tired. Their soul is wounded, and when the soul hurts, even the brightest light can feel far away. This struggle is real, and it's more common than we think. Many people smile outside, pray every day, and still quietly battle the fear that maybe they're not good enough, or maybe Allah is angry with them. But that's not true. Allah is never far from the brokenhearted. He is never angry with those who turn to Him, even if their voice is shaky, even if their faith feels small. Struggling with hope and faith doesn't make you less of a believer. It makes you human. The important thing is to keep going. Keep making dua, even when you don't have the words. Keep praying, even when you feel numb. Keep reading the Quran, even when the words feel heavy. Because every little effort you make is seen and loved by Allah. Sometimes, hope returns in small ways, a kind word from someone, a verse that touches your heart, a moment of peace after a long night of pain. These are signs that Allah is still with you. He never left, and He never will. So if you are struggling with hope and faith today, hold on. You are not alone. Many of the strongest hearts once felt like giving up, but they didn't, and neither should you. Trust that your story is still being written, and the next chapter may be more beautiful than anything you've ever imagined. Every person you meet is fighting a battle you may never see. Some carry invisible scars, some smile through silent pain, and some are just trying to survive one more day. But if life has broken you, remember, Allah is the one who mends hearts. If people have let you down, know that Allah never leaves you. If the world has made you quiet, soft, or cautious, don't be ashamed. Those are signs of strength, not weakness. The behaviors of people who have suffered too much are not strange. They are proof of survival, proof that Allah has brought them through storms others wouldn't even understand. And maybe, just maybe, your pain was meant to build a heart full of wisdom, empathy, and deep faith. So if you are one of those people, hold your head high. You are stronger than you know, and more loved by Allah than you feel. Keep walking, keep trusting. Your journey is not over, and the most beautiful chapters are yet to come in this life or the next. Let's continue supporting one another with kindness and compassion. You never know whose heart you might heal just by being gentle. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Deen Explorers. Together, we spread hope, light, and the timeless wisdom of Islam.